My vision for the Youth Ambassador Program is to take a group of youth ages 16 to 26, educate them about substance abuse, Narcan, opioids, specifically fentanyl, and actually have them become the liaisons to actually go out to the community to those in recovery and those dealing with addiction. A lot of times when substance abuse is discussed, it's discussed in conference rooms and boardrooms, and it's not really on the ground level where the substance abuse is actually happening. So I envision these ambassadors to be able to actually go out into the community, whether it's in the homes, whether it's in community centers, and actually have the dialogues that are needed to actually make an impact.
My experience as a youth ambassador was life-changing. Before the Youth Ambassador program, I would never have known how to save a person's life using Narcan, and would never have known the impacts of opioids and fentanyl on a person's life and on the community itself.
I would describe it as interesting because I get to learn what Narcan and opioids really are, and I also get to hear people's experiences.
My experience as a youth ambassador is that I have learned that my opinions matter. I never thought that my opinions could make a difference, but it could. All these ambassadors made me feel more involved and engaged, and that really made me feel better about myself, and I'm really glad I joined SFS.
I believe that it's taking a very big toll on our community and our society because people are using it for something to fall back onto and something to help them keep going, which is a very bad thing.
Drugs have a big impact on our communities that many of us turn a blind eye to, from teenagers trading drugs in school bathrooms to drug addicts overdosing. Drugs have presence in so many communities, including ours.
I would say you should be your main priority. You can and will achieve so much once you get yourself out of that mental space, and shame shouldn't stop you from becoming the best version of yourself.
The number one thing I would do is avoid blaming and shaming that individual and just start listening to them and their concerns. And then I would start to look for professional help by recommending them to places and facilities, just like I would with any other problem that I would struggle in my life.
The first thing for me to tell them is to let them know that they're brave for speaking up. I think what happens sometimes is that when community members or youth see a person struggling, instead of helping them, everyone kind of wants to hide it. And that's kind of destroying the person who's experiencing it, because now they feel like they're in a dark hole where community members don't want to help them, their families are hiding them, and their friends are getting pushed. Their friends don't want to be around them because they don't want to be associated with someone who has an addiction.
If you are a parent and your son or daughter is using substance or abusing opioids or fentanyl, what I would suggest is that you should try to understand them and not be mad. The first instinct is to get mad and yell at them, but most likely they will be afraid of you, run from you if you try to do that. So what I would suggest is try to accept the past and move on and see what you could do with next, and try to educate yourself about substance abuse, because it's not something that's our choice after a person goes through that. It's not a choice for them, and it's addiction. It's a bad habit. So try to get them as much help as you can.
I think the best ways parents can help the children who are using drugs, number one is through educating them how dangerous can be on their health and how many people die every day because of drugs. And number two is, get them help, immediately, counseling and medication. Number three is, actively listening to them and being there for them. And lastly, number four is try to never judge or shame them so they can be comfortable and be open with you.
If you are a youth watching this video and you know someone who's going through substance abuse, or you yourself are going through substance abuse, know that there are resources available to you and there are people who care about you, and it's not embarrassing to talk to them or seek out those resources, and know that your community cares about you more than you think they do.